It's looking pretty stormy out there behind
Very
us
stormy,
today.
yeah. Grant, where you say we get snow in the Sandias?
Yeah, it's snowing up there right now even, and we could be looking at even more through the weekend. Most of that's going to be falling tonight and into Saturday morning. Here's a live look down in Roswell, though, where the roads are wet. We've already seen about half an inch of rainfall today in Roswell. Some much-needed precipitation, and it's been mostly fairly steady throughout the day, so there hasn't been that concern of downpours and flooding. So that's the good news. But what's even more incredible is that while we're talking about rain today, we could be looking at a couple inches of snow by tomorrow afternoon. Here in Albuquerque, you can see some of those rain showers off in the distance as we look out towards the west, towards the volcanoes. Here in Albuquerque, it's 60 degrees though, so it's a little bit warmer than it has been previously this week. Still pretty dry, so not all of that rain is actually making it down to the ground, which is why we're seeing some better precip up in the mountains where the humidity is a little bit higher, but it's colder up there as we're seeing some snow up on top of the Sandias right now. 54 in Santa Fe. It's a degree cooler up in Farmington. 60 in Socorro and Las Cruces. And these are about the warmest spots in New Mexico right now, as it's in the 30s in Clayton and Las Vegas. Roswell sitting at only 47 degrees right now, thanks to the cloud cover and rain. There is a cold front that's draped across northeastern New Mexico. At the moment, it's fairly tame, but it's going to be surging southward later tonight and bringing in some big impacts. We'll get to that here in just a second. But right now, we're seeing some more rain developing out into parts of Roosevelt and Curry County. And then northward, more rain is starting to develop along that cold front too, along with some more snow starting to develop up into the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. Elsewhere, some spotty rain and higher elevation snow showers continue. But that cold front is going to be surging southward later tonight, bringing up to 50 to 55 mile per hour wind gusts across eastern New Mexico. And as it spills here into the Rio Grande Valley later tonight, especially after about midnight, we could actually see wind gusts up to nearly 60 miles per hour here in Albuquerque. Now, as that front moves south, it's also going to be increasing the amount of rain and snow behind it, with temperatures dropping very quickly, so that snow level is going to be dropping too. Overnight tonight, we could be looking at some heavy snowfall along stretches of I-25 and eastern New Mexico. You can see some rain and snow here in Albuquerque, but I think most of the night tonight we're going to run into the Albuquerque snow hole with that gusty east wind, leaving us mostly dry until tomorrow morning when the wind dies down a little bit, and we'll be looking at some on and off rain and snow showers here in Albuquerque through the day tomorrow. But this is sunrise Saturday morning. Notice all the widespread snowfall across New Mexico, even some mixing of rain and snow as far south as Las Cruces. It's going to be a really sharp cutoff line between heavy snow and heavier rainfall across southeastern New Mexico, with the western part of Roswell potentially picking up more snow than the eastern part of the city. So that's how sharp that line could be. It does look like by Saturday afternoon, though, that snow level is going to continue to drop, and we'll see snow into northern Lee County, more around the Roswell area. Snow continues to fall through Saturday afternoon across much of eastern New Mexico, but the storm clears out Saturday night with drier and warmer weather returning on Sunday. Wind advisory goes into effect later tonight for the Rio Grande Valley, where we're going to see those strong East Canyon winds, and snow forecast totals have actually gone up in the last 24 hours, mainly for eastern New Mexico. Areas like I-40 east of Albuquerque and I-25 could run into very difficult travel conditions starting later tonight. And here in Albuquerque, that snow cutoff line could be pretty sharp as well, with many of us here down in the valley staying mostly dry, although we could see a light mix of rain and snow, up to an inch of snow up on the West Mesa. And then you head out to the East Mountains and they could see as much as 6 inches of snowfall. So winter storm warnings and winter weather advisory is going to affect across the entire eastern half of the state, beginning later tonight through Saturday evening, where we're going to see the biggest impacts from this late winter storm system. Mix of rain and snow in southern Colorado, though, where temperatures are actually going to be a little bit warmer. Could still see as much as 10 inches of snow, though, up into the San Juan Mountains. We'll also see a light mix of rain and snow in Farmington, and then about a couple inches likely in the Grants and Gallup area, with some spotty rain and even snow showers all the way down into southern and southwestern parts of the state. However, the biggest impacts from this storm are going to be across the eastern part of New Mexico, especially as that cold front moves in tonight. A record cold high temperature tomorrow of only 36 degrees in Roswell. well, with the potential for some snowfall accumulations, especially farther north and farther west. That's where we're going to be looking at some much heavier snowfall in southeastern New Mexico, although places like Carlsbad and Hobbs may even see that chance for snow. And then we're in the mid-80s around the middle of next week. Even bigger impacts felt across east central and northeastern New Mexico with heavier amounts of snow in these parts of the state. We could be looking at nearly 2 feet of snow up into the northern mountains, with a couple inches likely around Espanola, Santa Fe, Los Alamos, anywhere from about an inch or two in Moriarty to nearly 6 inches once you get up to the east slopes of the Sandias. And then here in Albuquerque, again, we're going to be looking at that mix of rain and snow starting later tonight and through the day tomorrow as well, but it will get very windy later tonight. This storm moves out Saturday night, and we're up into the 80s for the first time this year on Wednesday.
Okay, good stuff, Grant. Thank you.